The big three are skipping E3. The PS5 drought may have finally ended. The PSVR 2 slashes projections. This is GameF8 news, where you don't get laughed at for being a cat. Meow. If you like this, click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with gaming news. Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo are all reported by IGN to be missing the gaming showcase E3 this year. They obtained this news from multiple knowledgeable sources, which we assume isn't a power-hungry Gabe Newell wanting the conference to himself. Soon everything will be running on Steam Deck, including you, Zelda. That's Link. Zelda's the princess? Oh, never mind. Xbox haven't released their own plans for the summer, but it's safe to assume they'll probably be making use of the theatre they own across the road from the Los Angeles Convention Center. Insiders are suggesting they're working with E3 to time their presentation away from the other ones. So they're kind of at E3, but not. Just like the Series S is kind of current gen, but just doesn't do anything that current gen things do. Eyo! Spencer's also reiterated his love for E3 and the ESA. He just doesn't want to pay them. I mean, we've all been there, right? After years of trying and failing to give Sony our money for their newest console, they are now claiming that supply issues for the PlayStation 5 will end this year. We heard a lot about Sony's plans yesterday after they released their new marketing campaign, which bridged the fictional world of their games with the reality of our world. It is not clear whether their plans to skip E3 is an attempt to recreate the emptiness of The Last of Us at the convention. Other news that came from their marketing was an autumn release window for Spider-Man 2. This was originally confusing since the Australian marketing pegged the release at spring. But if you are thinking that Sony are ditching worldwide releases for the game, don't. Seasons are opposite between the two hemispheres because of the Earth being off-axis or something like that. I could Wikipedia it, but my tabs are all busy investigating what has led VGC to think they've spotted a reference to Uncharted 5 in the advertising. We reported recently that Naughty Dog was ditching the franchise, but Sony marketing showed a young woman in a cave that somehow led to some believing this is an Easter egg to a new game in the series, presumably being developed by someone else. Unless there's a suspicious looking raccoon, I'm not interested. Sony may have used their massive marketing push yesterday to bury some disappointing projections for some of their new hardware. It might be a case of, hey, look over there! The PSVR 2 went up for pre-order last year, but Bloomberg are reporting the 2 million units that Sony were planning to sell have been halved in reaction to the lower than expected pre-orders. At $600, the add-on is $100 more than the console it attaches to, or $200 more than the digital-only one. It's great that Sony are putting their weight behind making this work, but you can't help but feel that they need to manage their own expectations. The Steam Deck has been incredibly popular, but even with its competitive price, it only managed to reach 1 million sales a few months ago. One of the issues Sony have with their VR goggles is trying to get publishers to commit to bringing big titles to it. Maybe they need to ring up Gabe and beg him to bring Half-Life Alyx to the console. Please, Gabe, I'll be your best friend. I'll think about it. Did you know Zelda's the princess? The PSVR 2 sales might be looking bad, but Capcom are looking forward to selling a record number of games this fiscal year. They've already reached almost 30 million in the 9 months up to the turn of the year, up from under 26 the year before. With RE4 coming out in March 24th, the Japanese developer will be optimistic going forward. It's strange to think that in the build-up to Monster Hunter World, the company were rife with speculation of being acquired. If Microsoft had landed the publisher back then, do you think this year we'd finally get the RE2 remake? Shots fired! Sad news for fans for freemium games from Epic. Rumbleverse is sadly shutting down at the end of February. The sad news has led legions of gamers to ask themselves the question, what is Rumbleverse? The brawler battle royale video game developed by Iron Galaxy released only 2 months ago for both PlayStation and Xbox generations, and the Epic Game Stores as well, of course. Maybe this could free up Iron Galaxy to finally team up with Rare and release a new Killer Instinct game. Hang on, maybe not. Age of Empires 2 Console Edition has pleased the almighty Metacritic with an 86. The PC Classic seems to have done well in its console conversion, but I can't help but feel that playing this game would be like trying to fry an egg with a toaster. It might be technically possible, but messy. You could use a keyboard and a mouse on Xbox. Who actually does that though? Oh, I'm playing on my TV on my sofa. Let's awkwardly hover my mouse on my armrest and dangle the keyboard between my legs. Gaming! Amazon, which seems to creep into GameF8 news on a daily basis, is rumoured to be creating a Marvel-like Tomb Raider universe. Because, of course they are. They're co-producing the newest game in the franchise and also rumoured to be producing the TV show. Along with a movie, they're planning to tie all the stories together with a neat bow and prime ship them to your eyes. Sports Story, the sports RPG that surprisingly shadow dropped at Christmas, is having a hard time removing a dev room from the game, which was full of references to the game's troubled development. It seems this area of the game, which was planned to be removed before launch, has spawned a life of its own and breaks the game upon its deletion. Maybe hate is stronger than love after all. Sidebar Games have had to resort to editing the toxic dialogue for more positive comments, but this has made the room even more creepy. Blink twice if you're not okay. Game vouchers may be returning to North American Switch users. In the UK, these have been available for quite some time, allowing you a cheaper per game price by committing to purchasing 2 games. Twitter user TBYT spotted a Nintendo YouTube video going through the vouchers features and stating the cost will be $99.98. Meaning it will cost about $50 a game. I feel some poor intern somewhere is getting fired for letting this video release early. Now that this is confirmed, what other popular things might Nintendo bring back? Maybe we can finally get the big end to change their mind on the Power Glove. With just one click, I can save $10 on games, as long as I buy in bulk. Xbox has released their Games with Gold games for February. This will lead many of you to wonder why. I mean, just why. To be fair, For the King is a semi-decent game, but was on Game Pass 4 years ago. It feels like Xbox is contractually forced to release these games, but their heart just isn't in it. Compared to the leaked PlayStation Plus games that we discussed yesterday, these don't even come close. Xbox Gold is on its last legs, and it just feels cruel now to let this continue. But something that will continue is GameF8 News, which is back tomorrow and every tomorrow, unless today is Friday because I rest on weekends. See you or not then.